All right, good morning, everyone. So we want to welcome you. Great turnout today. Thank you all for coming. We want to welcome you to our weekly Wednesday morning meeting of the Lake County Eustis 4 Million Cups. If you haven't checked in yet, if you could please just take a minute, scan the QR code, check in, and then we will get moving forward with everything today. While you're doing that, I want to say hello to my wife, because she was checking. Where's the live? We're live.
Keep you alive.
We are. She does keep me alive, so I want to make sure I'm here. All right, so a couple housekeeping things before we start. I was talking to somebody earlier. Side conversations. Please keep them to a minimum. We want to give all of our folks some attention to our presenter today. Bathrooms. Ladies is through this door, the men's is up here behind me to the right. And then if we can also make sure that we silence our phones. Again, the whole purpose that we come here today, and we'll go on that in just a minute, is to focus on our presenter. They're what keeps us up at night challenge, and we give them some great feedback with minimal interruptions. And then lastly, again, we are filming. Welcome to Hollywood. We are live on Facebook. This is my first time with the mic, so you gotta feel a little important. We are live on Facebook. The one thing that we want to point out, if you have somebody that says, I'm really interested in what this 1 million cups is, but sometimes I just can't make it, tell them to watch us live. Because the hope is they watch us live, a couple of live viewings turns into in-person visits, and then we fill the room like we have today, and we continue to fill it until we give George and Pam. The biggest problem they can have is we need more space.
No, we don't. We'll knock down the wall.
That is our challenge. Let's see and that's a beautiful wall, so we'll figure something out. All right, so again, we want to thank our host, the Mega Workplace. George has not made it yet.
He's on his way.
George is on his way, and we'll give him a chance to just introduce himself when he gets here. But we want to thank George and Pam for the Mega Workplace. This is where everything happens. Every Wednesday morning. Normally we start at 9 o'clock. Doors, we open at 8:30. We want to have the connecting and socializing from 8:30 to 9. First Wednesday of the month. We really don't advertise it a lot on social media because we want people here early. We always give it about an extra 15 minutes or so for the chamber members to attend the chamber breakfast, stay there till the end, and then make our way over after the chamber meeting has ended. So please attend the chamber. If you're not part of it, Marie does a great job. Visit there, but then come see us afterwards. First Wednesday of the month. So next week we'll start right on time at 9 o'clock.
I'll go ahead and substitute for George though, since he's going to be late. So we want to thank you guys for coming, and we want to thank, we have Al Latimer here from our city. He's our city economic developer. So, we have Gary Ashcraft, our city commissioner. And then we have Officer Cole, who, if you don't know, is really great to know. Comes and checks on us, make sure we're behaving. Mega Workplace, we're so excited to have 1 million cups here, but keep track of what's going on. There's a lot of other exciting things coming up. Mead is having their fast track program that's going to be starting soon, and then SPBC is going to be having an event here shortly, I think in April. So there's a lot that's coming up, so we're excited to keep this environment open to businesses to help grow our business community. All right, have a great day.
All right, and as you can see, it's a great meeting space with TV. So depending upon your crowd, we can rearrange. So if you have presentations, if you have meetings you want to get, talk to Pam. This is a great space to do it. So we want to thank our sponsors, our coffee sponsor, ongoing and I think for eternity, is gonna be Foxtail Coffee. If you're, you know, all kidding aside, if you're out and about and you're gonna meet with somebody, if you make a connection or you wanna meet with somebody, we really wanna thank them and show our appreciation for what they've done as being an ongoing coffee sponsor. So have a meeting at a local Foxtail, and let's support Foxtail for everything that they've done for us here. And then we wanna thank our donor sponsor, United Southern Bank. And just a quick reminder, we are opening up the donut sponsorship. Talk to me or Monty about that, or Pam. I talked to Brandy Lake. They look like they're gonna be sponsoring in the next quarter. So that is gonna open up. We'll let you know what the guidelines behind that are. So, who is a first timer today?
Woo.
All right, lots of hands, lots of hands. So, we want to thank you and take a quick minute, because we want to try to get Mike up here to start his presentation. Quick minute, quick second, name and business.
Good morning, I'm Ondrasik. I represent United Southern Bank, our Eustis location. I'm the manager and consumer and loan officer there. Glad to be here.
Dick.
Dick Bolton, my business is retired. And I'm here to support Michael.
Tim.
Hi, Tim Dutellis, founder of Laugh All Night Comedy Concerts. We celebrate 20 years this year.
I'm excited. Tim is a long-time friend of my brother-in-law's. Who else was first time?
Kathy Catasus, I work for Lake County Board of County Commissioners in the Water Resources section, and I am also with Leadership Lake County. I'm actually doing an internship today.
Tamara.
Yes, my name is Tamara Watkins Small. I am in the healthcare field, so I'm a Medicare broker, and I do the ACA commercial plan.
First time?
No, this is my second. I'm Elizabeth, and I'm doing a transaction coordinator business.
All right. We'll let the baby sleep.
My name is Nick, and I'm the owner of Freshview Landscaping, so we do landscaping.
All right.
I'm Evelyn New, and I own Successful Change, and I inspire solutions to change. So if you need help, I'm with that.
Yes.
Good morning, I'm Nikki Little. I own Maymont. I own Maymont Senior Care. We take care of seniors in home. We also have an adult daycare in Tiberias where we drop them off and we love on them, and you come back and pick them up.
All right. Emily.
I'm Emily with Magnolia Closing Company, the title company you're in.
I'm Jean Kohler. I'm with Compassionate Connections Home Care, and I'm the assistant coordinator.
All right, you didn't miss him. Where'd the chief go? You guys done in your left?
Yeah, I do wanna, is he here? I wanna introduce our VIP, Chief Capri, if you've ever met him.
Chief, come on, say hi.
Our shy Chief Capri. She's very shy. We're introducing him.
Come on in.
500 cups.
Thanks for having me. I heard a lot of good things about this group. I figured I'd come in real quick and introduce myself. I'm Chief Capri. Been here about 3 years. Prior to that, 31 years at Daytona Beach PD. Retired as the chief there. Just couldn't give it up. And I landed in a great spot, great city. So if there's anything I can ever do for you, just call 911. No, but serious. I like to see stuff like this. And I got to thank George and Pam what they're doing. This is a great. I've never heard of this before. I did a little bit of research on it. I think it's a great program. So that's all. That's me. And I'm happy to be here. And I'll be in and out. So thank you.
Thank you.
Chief, I promise everything you've heard is that much and better. So, what is 1 minute cup? Bonnie's going to play a quick video for us, and then we'll go into a little more detail.
The success of this program is really based on the ongoing education of entrepreneurs, building community, and creating really great companies.
It's a simple concept. Get a bunch of eager people together to express their dreams. It's just about real people standing up and talking about what they're working on.
The room was completely packed. Coffee ran the whole time.
They're packing the house at 9 o'clock on a business day. The idea of bringing entrepreneurs and folks together that have great ideas really can make those ideas grow into something better.
And so it really allows everybody to move forward faster.
It's a room full of 200 plus entrepreneurs and has become the quintessential entrepreneurial event for Kansas City.
There are a lot of classes that you can take about how to do specific things in a startup, but to see somebody actually go through those steps is a real live experiential learning opportunity.
Seeing someone think through their plan and kind of present their ideas, and then having the audience feedback, point out, have you thought about that?
Yeah, that's a new video that's a little bit longer than we have time for today, so we'll move on. So what is 1 million cups? We'll go into a little more of that right now. So it is presentations and not pitches. We come here today to help our presenters solve, again, we'll see in an upcoming slide, what keeps them up at night is what we like to refer to. We're not coming here to network. There's a lot of great networking organizations. I'm in one that meets here on Thursday. This is not about that. This is to connect, and it is to help businesses support other businesses. And again, so it's connections and not networking, it's presentations and not pitches. The hope is that our presenters are not up here to sell you something, not to fundraise or ask for money. It is here, they are putting themselves out there saying, hey, I have a challenge in my business. We have some of the best business minds in Lake County in attendance, and their whole goal is to help give them feedback to solve those and overcome those challenges. So, in the middle, actually we only have one presenter today. At the end of the presentation, we're going to give away, we'll draw a name. So if you have not put your business card in the bucket, make sure John in the back gets that, and we will make sure that someone wins some of our cool stuff today. Which, speaking of John, the one thing that I forgot, in this building is everything you need for success in business. We have 1 million cups, is where you start with an idea. If you just have a thought, you're going to present here. You're going to meet with John, you're going to put a business plan together. We have the UCF incubator downstairs. They're going to help that business become successful. You have Lee, that is the Lake Economic Area Development, that is going to help expand that. And then we always like to say, kind of the fourth part of it is once, be part of the chamber to make those connections that you need to be successful. So, who is good to present? Do you have a thought or a business idea? It can be a concept. You can write it down on a napkin. It's like, we've had a couple of presentations like, I just want to get some feedback from the business community. Is this a viable concept? We want you up here. If you have a business that's 1 to 5 years old, and again, you have that challenge in your business, you've got some great minds here to say, this is my challenge, give me some suggestions of how I can get past it. And then for an established business, if you're looking to branch out, because generally 1 to 5 years is where most businesses are going to succeed or fail. After 5 years, success rates are extremely high. So this program is designed to help give back to newer businesses to be successful. But if you have an established business and you're looking to add a new portion or a new leg to that business, then this is where you want to present. You can run a successful business for 10 years, but when you add a new section and a new portion to it, that can be a challenge. How do I do this? How do I separate it from my current business? So we want to see you up here to present. If you know somebody that is in that, bring them here. Let them see what 1MC is about, how it can help them. We always recommend visit at least once before presenting so you can see what this is about and be prepared when you present. So we want to stay connected. We're running a little bit short on time, so we're going to stay connected. We've got our YouTube channel. We've got Facebook. It's all under 1MC or 1 Million Cups, Lake County / Eustis. And we say Lake County because we want the whole county to be part of this, including South Lake. If you know somebody in South Lake, tell them. I know it's an hour's drive. Wendy drives an hour. Wendy, where are you at?
How are you?
Wendy's over there. She drives an hour. Monty drives an hour. He's out in Orange City. Mary Ann drives an hour. It's worth the hour drive. If you can't make it every week, come the next week. It's free. What have you got to lose? And then our Facebook page, we've got the website. Sign on. 1 Million Cups, Lake County / Eustis. Follow us, and then you'll get updates as we move forward. If you want to be an organizer, we always need help. This is our organizing team. Life happens. We have people that are on business trips. We have people that aren't feeling well. We always need help. Go to the website, click on organize, We talked this morning about becoming an organizer. Fill out the application. We'll take some blood, send it through a pre-screening, and we'll get you added on. So, before we get started, just to get a little bit, Jerry and Greg, are you ready? All right.
Before you get into that, I did want to introduce two people that walked in I think are incredibly wonderful and important to our community. It's Nan Cobb, City Commissioner, running for state representative as well. And then we have Marie Alberti, who walked in. I don't know where she went to. Oh, she's there. She's our chamber director. Okay. Thank you. Sorry, I won't interrupt anymore.
No, you're good. So, as a business owner, what strategies would you implement to maintain resilience or adapt your operations during economic downturns? That's a great question. We've got Greg and Jared with the microphone.
Todd Henley, Best Version Media. People always try to pull back during economic downturn, especially on like their advertising. If you guys remember during COVID, Toyota and all them just got up there saying, we're in this together. They didn't even try to sell a car. They just tried to stay in front of everybody. And even when the economy's going down, you still have to have a presence in your community. So just staying involved.
Anyone else?
I'd like to say something. As a realtor, as you all know, it's slow right now. And what I'm doing is exactly this, is networking a lot and being in front of people, connecting with people, because there's a lot of downtime and it's the best thing to do for your future business. And that goes for business owners too.
Matthew Gafford. You know, in the marketing world, I think that during times when things get a little bit tougher, that's the best time to do marketing because one, the costs for marketing tends to go down, but also if you ever thought of Nike, fun fact, back in the 1970s, Reebok and Nike were basically head and head. And then there was a recession that happened during that time frame. Nike actually tripled their marketing budget, and Reebok dwindled theirs to less than a third. And Nike has taken over, starting with the NBA is when it took off, and Reebok's never been able to catch up since.
I'd encourage you to count your no's. The word resilience. My son, when he was 5 years old, got on the cover of the Orlando Business Journal for selling knock-knock jokes, books, door to door in Orlando, and we counted the no's and discovered that after 7, he'd get a sale. So we celebrate number 6. So in resilience, it's about chewing rejection every day. So even in my work, when we're booking, 40 comedy events a year, you count the no's, because it just means later. So just count the no's.
That's a good point. No's never no.
There's a yes right behind the last no.
Right, I don't really think I need this. Okay, so what I would say is to really focus on your why you're doing this, because it really doesn't matter what's going on around you, up, down, it doesn't matter. You don't want your highs to be too high or your lows to be too low, but to really focus on your why, and that's what's going to end up driving you.
All right, so great responses. We're going to move on to our presenter, but I think we're going to be running into some challenges this year with the economy. So great advice. And again, this is a place to reach out to people. Say, hey, what are you doing? In your business during these times. So let's move on to our presenter. When you present, right now we're only going 1 week. We may move when we get booked out far enough. We'll go back to 2 weeks. The presenter's going to have 6 minutes ish. To do the presentation. Then we're going to take about 20 minutes of responses. So we want to give them the full time today. Again, on first Wednesdays, plan a little bit extra time because we're going to give Mike all the time that he needs and deserves. So with that, we are going to introduce our featured presenter today, Michael Ondrasik.
Thank you. I am Mike Ondrasik. I am the owner and operator of Home Video Studio in Mount Dora. I'd like to thank Jim Green for first introducing me to Million Cups and then the organizers for allowing me to have this platform, because I have a problem. I need your help. And it may be something new for you too, because I don't know if this has ever been presented here before. Because I'm not looking for new business. I'm not looking for new customers, although I don't turn anybody away. I'm not looking for that. My problem is I'm ready to retire. I've already announced it. But I've never sold a business before. I don't know the first thing about how to do that. So before we get into what I've done thus far, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I graduated from college a long time ago. I was a theater arts major and moved to New York and worked as an actor for a while, which means I took up a lot of odd jobs just to keep a roof over my head. And one of those jobs was I was hired as a street messenger for a document delivery courier service back in the time when those were a thing. And before the computers and the internet and text messaging, that didn't exist. That lasted about a week until they found out I had a college degree, and then they moved me in the office and made me a dispatcher. And by the end of the year, I was their ops manager. And almost without trying, I began a 35-year career in the wonderful world of transportation and logistics. So flash forward, I'm now approaching 60. I'm living in Mount Dora, commuting to Orlando, running a home delivery terminal for FedEx. And my wife and I decided it was time for me to leave that industry. So I quit. That was easy. And the plan was kind of a semi-retirement. We were looking for something we could do in Mount Dora, closer to home, that would provide a service to the community. So I did some research and I stumbled upon this franchise opportunity called Home Video Studio. What we do is we take, working primarily with families, but we take all of their recorded memories, whether they're on 8mm film, Super 8 film, VHS videotapes, high 8 videotapes, Betamax tapes, audio recordings, reel-to-reel audio cassettes, vinyl records, and then still images, photographs, negatives, slides. We take all that analog media and we convert it to digital formats so that we protect and preserve those memories and most importantly make it available to pass on to the next generation. So I did my research, it looked like it was a good fit for us, so I pulled the trigger and we opened our doors in July of 2014 and almost immediately started seeing the business grow. First year we did $100,000 in revenue, and then every year subsequently we averaged between $100,000 and $150,000 a year, which for a single person operation, we were happy with that. We didn't need anything more. I couldn't do more than I could handle, so it was a nice niche for us. Flash forward again, I'm now approaching 70, my wife's already there. We've decided it's time now to fully embrace the concept of retirement. But I've never quit a job that I actually owned before, and I need to know what to do with what I've got. So as I see it, I've got three options. Option number one, I can continue to own the business and just hire someone to run it. That's off the table. Don't want that. We want a clean break. Don't want the burden of that. Option number two, I can just shut it down, sell the equipment piecemeal, and just be happy with what I've got. And I am prepared to do that if it comes to that. But the biggest surprise I have is I stopped thinking of this as a business 7 years ago. This is more of a community service. The value of this company, I feel, the loss of which the community would feel. I can't tell you the emotional impact what I do has on the people that come in for me to help them. So I'd hate to see that end for the community, so I am looking for someone to take it over. I just don't know how to find that person. I'll tell you what I've done thus far. I have contacted 3 different business brokers, hoping to enlist their help. They were very kind during the initial conversation. I haven't heard from them since. The impression I get is due to the size of the operation and the nature of the operation, business brokers aren't really that interested in getting involved with that. It's a very small company. The one piece of advice that one of them gave me is that I would be better served doing some sort of local word-of-mouth campaign to kind of shake the bushes and find someone that matches my description. A single individual who's passionate about the service and willing to invest in a company that provides that service. Oh, that's great. I just don't know how to do that. A couple more pieces of information that would be helpful for you to know. The franchise agreement that I've signed, it ends July of 2024. That ends the obligation that I have toward the corporate. The person, if we find someone to buy, the person has an option. They can stay with the network by signing a licensing agreement, which would enable them to continue using the name Home Video Studio. They get access to the website, the email capabilities under the name. Also access to the network of 8 other agents around the country and the vendor list that we get our supplies from. It also gives them an invitation to 2 training events that are held annually to keep up with what's going on with technology and the various changes there. The other thing is the building that I'm operating out of, we have a storefront on Donnelly Street, Mount Dora. I don't own that, so the building is not part of the sale, but I've spoken to the landlady and she is amenable to extending the lease to whoever might take over the company. But they don't have to. It's a relocatable service. They can move it anywhere. About half the studio owners in the country are operating out of their homes, have a spare bedroom. So there's a lot of options that people might have if they're interested in purchasing it. For me, it's all about the person that comes along. I really like to leave this with someone that has the same passion for it that I do. Memories are important, and they are in danger of being lost. It's probably the most fun I've ever had working. We get to see some incredible stuff. I transferred some 16mm film a couple years ago. I didn't even know what he had. He found it in his grandfather's estate. His grandfather happened to be in Berlin in 1936 in the stands filming the Olympics with Hitler, Jesse Owens. Incredible footage, came out great. So it's all part of history, and it's most importantly family history. We like to say that we make somebody cry in our office just about every day because they're hearing memories, seeing memories that they've almost forgotten, and how it's preserved not only for them but for their children and their children's children. So help me sell my business. What do I do? Where can I go? How do I find the right person? That's the question. First one, Julie.
I wanted to thank you for sharing because as far as I've seen, a lot of the businesses that are now being on sale are because people are retiring and they do want to have that specific person to take over their business and run it. Not 100% as they would, right? But getting as close as possible. So I think that the better way to sell your business is kind of going to be the best way for you specifically too, where I don't know if you've thought about it, but selling the business and staying on for a certain amount of time. And then if you are retiring, perhaps this individual can pay you just as a basis of how the business, what the business makes in income, which might be a good setup for you to, be comfortable and retire and do as you like. But also, I did just meet I did just meet a gentleman over at the Eustis breakfast, and Marie can probably give you his information. He just opened up his company for video production, and he just freshly moved out to Lake County and started his business this month. So that might be somebody that you might want to talk to. He's a family man, and he moved out here with his wife and kids.
Absolutely. If we get that information, that's great. But a lot of the studio owners, this is an adjunct to what they already do. There's a photographer that runs a home video studio, a videographer that runs a home video studio. So it's a great fit for additional revenue coming in while they pursue their own business.
John?
Let me go first. A couple things. SPD does business evaluations for free. So if you want to see me afterwards. Sure. There are also, you mentioned that you use a business broker. It's probably a good idea to find a business evaluator, somebody that will evaluate the work that, and again, ours is not certified, but it's a very good evaluation of where the potential. If you do a business evaluator, they'll also generally help you sell as well.
Thank you.
I got one. My name is Greg Sizer, local realtor, commercial, residential. I like the fact that you want to give it to someone that it's not just for the business aspect of it, but it's very important. My mom is a genealogist, and I understand the awesomeness of the history of photos and everything. I think one of the biggest things to do is go to local photography studios or whatever that's in the family photo business and things like that, niche, and maybe something like that. But a great gentleman here that could be a big benefit is this gentleman right there, Byron. He's in the video, everything. So he would be a great one to connect to us.
I've been dangling some stuff in front of you.
Yeah, and I want to mention one thing, and Mike's a little bit humble. He's a multi-award winning person with his studio. So if you go by his studio, you've got how many? And they weren't just one, these are like Academy Awards, right?
They're not Academy Awards, but thank you.
You're an Academy Award now. Right.
Hey, Mike, Matt, Drive. I know we've talked a little bit in the past about some of this, but I think Byron could probably connect to some of these groups as well. But on Facebook in particular, there's a lot of industry-specific Facebook groups. So photography groups, videography groups, and there might be even some in your own industry. But you can actually post that as a question/listing in there, and a lot of people in there are probably either be able to point you in the direction, or maybe would be interested in adding that as a service. But instead of just the scope of people who are local, I know you want to find somebody that's local here, but the reality is there might be people all across the country that already have a location and would love to easily acquire a second one, and they have the ability to do that. So another option.
Have you contacted your franchisee, that you currently have your franchise with? Have you contacted them to see if they'll help you sell it? It would benefit them to carry on that franchise.
You don't know him? His modus operandi, if I can't find anybody and I have to close the company down, what he does is he takes over the website that now directs people to me and have it direct to him, because he has a studio in Indiana. So he'll try to convince people to ship from Florida up to Indiana. So he'd be more than happy to help himself sell something to take my place. It's no market for him, but if he can't do that, then he'll use the website that I've built a following on to redirect traffic to him.
Well, then I have a follow-up question
Yep.
with that. How much of your business is driven from the website or driven from, you have an incredible location on Donnelly? Just from drive-bys or local, people just knowing people?
It's funny, I don't get as much drive-by traffic as you might think. It helps trigger. I said, oh yeah, I remember seeing him. Most of the traffic comes from word of mouth now and from the Facebook marketing I do, because I can target local areas and communities. So when I do a Facebook blast, that generally shows the upswing. And then the signage that I have out front is just a trigger, a reminder, oh yeah, I remember seeing that guy. But it by itself doesn't really generate that much. Yes, Dick.
What I love about your presentation is you're selling a vision, or you're selling a feeling. I think it's less about the business. The way you sell it is you sell the sizzle. Okay. And one of my thoughts is there's a magazine that comes out monthly that goes to people in Lakes of Mount Dora, Country Club of Mount Dora. And I'm thinking that maybe we could do a feature article on you, and that'll reach a lot of people.
Interesting. Is that Missy's? Missy, yeah.
Not one question then we got over here. In the right way, have you thought about emailing your database, and maybe a customer would look at it and kind of go, this is just the greatest thing that I've had, that maybe a customer might be there to kind of take things over. And I really like Julie's thought of staying on, and I know you guys you and Kate want to do your life, just as a consultant for maybe like 1 to 2 years to transition them into the.
To be honest with you, it won't even take that long.
Right.
It's not, as though it may seem daunting. There's a lot of equipment that's involved. Equipment's very easy to run, and the equipment does all the work. So I do imagine there's going to be a transition, but eventually I can see that they want to do it their way and get me out the door. So I will stay on and help somebody transition into the business, make sure they're successful. And I'll always be around as a consult for no charge, but because we're not moving anywhere. But I don't know if it's got a year or two. I don't think it's going to need that.
Yeah, and it is maybe, like you said, making people cry. Maybe somebody you may cry wants to make other people cry.
There you go.
All right, let's go back here then.
Have you thought about reaching out to Full Sail University? They have a lot of students graduating out of there with film school, looking for jobs.
That's great. It's just I'm not offering a job, I'm offering a business, and I do need to cover the cost of the equipment. So I will need someone that has the ability to at least invest a little bit.
But they might have people who are previous graduates that might be looking for another
yeah, that's a great idea.
I have a contact at Full Sail.
Perfect, I'll come up with it, thanks.
She had mentioned on like seller financing also, maybe if somebody could put a certain amount down and then just seller finance it and then you stay on like for a few months or whatever. I think that could also open up doors to people that might not have the full capital to buy it up.
Perfect.
Well, it kind of piggybacks off emailing to your group, but you said that you have a really Facebook following. So my thought was, if you put together a little video and said a lot of what you just said, because I just think that you have a really great way of sharing what you do.
Exactly.
Then you could put that on your Facebook page, and maybe it could be somebody who you've already helped, but it could also be somebody who's just following your page might be really interested.
Great idea, we should have mentioned that. I do have a video that I did put together, and it's out there, and they could circulate around, and it generated some interest, although no serious offers. I've also listed business on something called bizbuysell.com, so there's a listing on that also generates some inquiries. I can't say any serious offers.
Shark Tank.
There's a person in Leesburg in similar business. Like, do you know him? Have you reached out to him?
I have, mainly because he's already doing what I do, so, I mean, I could probably sell the equipment to him, but I don't know if there's anything else of value that I have that he wouldn't get anyway if I just shut it down, so I don't know if there would be an incentive.
I mean, the value to him could be, the customer database, all the equipment, the updated stuff. I'm thinking like he would own Boardwalk and Park Place, so, it just amplify everything he does.
I'll give him a call. We opened up just almost as
Yeah.
at the same time, yeah.
I just make sure like you knew him and all
The
that.
other guy I was thinking is Jeff Phillips at All About Images. He does the still photography.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
This would be a nice addition to what he does, so I haven't been able to connect with him yet.
Well, I think that's a great point, and piggyback on what John said, is there's a value to the business. Aside from the equipment, and getting that valuation on the business and what it's worth to sell, to a competitor, it might be a little bit less, but he's still buying established customers. And
one thing that you also might want to think about is there is value to your phone number. And so it might be your competition, but there is value, and you can keep that number, pay that for 2-3 years if you wanted, or you could sell it and then have it roll over to them.
I can double the number of telemarketers I call.
That's on you. There is a lot of value to that, and I understand there's been a lot of things talked about. You could stay on for a little bit, which especially if it's somebody that's brand new in the business. Also, too, holding the note, if you will. We own a 43-year business here in Eustis. We sell tractors. Anybody want to buy a tractor dealership? But anyway, so we have, my husband will be 75 this year, so we have thought about selling. And that's a very unique business, kind of like yours. But at one point we did sell it. We did hold the note. Exactly 1 year to the day we got it back. We offered to stay on for a year. He said he's got it. He knew more than we did. 1 year to the day, and left owing a lot of money. So if you do hold that note, please get us a decent amount down. Okay, and they would be stupid if they did not keep you on for at least 6 months to a year.
This is more of a procedural question. Is anyone taking notes? I know this is being recorded. Either Michael's got to have a great memory, or it would really be helpful to have people writing
Being
down.
recorded, right? Yeah, I'll be able to tap into this here and
Go back.
take all the notes off the recording.
All right.
Thanks.
we kind of, if it comes up, people are welcome when you present to bring people. We've had Modern Schoolhouse brought somebody specifically to take notes, but yeah, that's one thing that you're welcome to bring if you present.
In the video that you put together, do you express how easy it is to run the equipment, et cetera? Because there may be somebody who's not in the field, and somebody like myself who's not technology oriented, that they may love the idea that you're talking about helping families, being part of the community, but they shy away because they think it's too difficult for them to learn.
Right.
And so it'd be very important for you to express how easy it is for anybody with certain knowledge to step in to the business.
I can't say that I stated that, per se in the video that I did, but I certainly mentioned it to anybody who might approach me, and the course that I've got, I explained about the equipment. I had one person come in with his wife, and I thought that it was going to be a done deal. They were buying it for their kids. They used to have a family business and it went under during COVID. Oh, that's the other thing I should mention. This thing was COVID proof. My best year was the year COVID hit, because everyone was at home, we went through closets, and found tons of material. I came to the office just, like, as I shut down, the government told us to, I shut down, I came by the office just to check, make sure things were okay, and I had a pile of stuff outside my door. People just dropped it there, waiting for me to come in. So, yeah, it was one of my best years was the year COVID hit.
Do you have any customers that are like cities and towns, et cetera? Because the history of, let's say, Mount Dora, I don't know who keeps records on Mount Dora and if they have videos, et cetera, for the history.
Yeah, the library does a real good job, and we also have the historical center that's getting more active, and I've got contacts with both of them. Yes, sir.
Brittany, we're gonna bring you in that time.
How much are you selling the business for?
I've got it listed for $100,000, which is pretty much an annual income that it brings in, and depending on how it's run, my biggest expenses were my rent and marketing that I did, and my franchise fee. Well, the rent and the franchise fee go away, which only leaves any marketing that is done. So, and I was just pulling out somewhere between $36,000 and $40,000 a year, you know, as shareholder distribution, I call it, wasn't a salary. So I was pulling that out a year, and it was just a supplement to everything else that my wife and I had with our investments. And we managed, and it was fine. So I got it listed for $100,000, but I'm willing, for the right person, I'm willing to go even lower than that. As long as I cover the cost of the equipment, I've got about $60,000 invested in the equipment that I use to run the business.
You know, one thought on the videos, like with Chuck and was saying, you've done very well with this, just almost where maybe if you did a bunch of series of little short videos, you've done this as a hobby. Now imagine if somebody came in, you know, that's younger, that wants to do this as a career, and focus on, this is potential. I do this part-time, you can travel quite a bit. This is what I can do part-time. Imagine and kind of focus on a younger buyer of what potential they could have for a long-time career and the potential for business that is there.
I like the full sale idea. That would be a refreshing thing. Yes.
Have you talked to other businesses and franchisees and compared how much they're making with their business? Exactly what Jim's talking about. Other people may be making more because they ran it as a business rather than something.
Absolutely. There's probably the biggest success. There are two guys that I went to that really took it and ran with it. They hired multiple employees, bought 3 times the number of pieces of equipment that I did. One is up in Wisconsin, outside of whatever the biggest city out there is. And he's a videographer and has won Emmys. And uses this to have a recurring income, and his employees run the machine. And that gives him the freedom to do what he wanted to do creatively and artistically. The other guy was in Apex, North Carolina, right outside of Raleigh. Also hired a bunch of part-timers to run the machines, but they were incredible networkers, and they were involved in all sorts of community activities. And both of them were probably doing 3 times the business on it. They're up to the $300,000, $400,000 a year mark. We just were adamant about not hiring employees because we both came from the corporate world and we did not want that headache. And I got to tell you, it's a lot of fun working for yourself and nobody else. You don't have the boss and you don't have the employees. All your problems go away. All you have to deal with are customers, and you deal with them.
I see some eye rolling.
What's that?
Are you advertising that what you make and what other people make, the potential for the business that somebody else could do with it?
I am not advertising that now because I don't want to close the door to try to open another one. People can make this whatever they want to make it. They can really scale it down and run it part-time. As a hobby, I can make half the money but half the expense.
And I think that's the range that it could be from this to this. So you show everything in between.
Sorry, I leave it, neighbors in Lake Eustis. I have all idea for you.
What about like Waterman Village? They've got all the old people that move in there and they've got these tapes. If they want the business from you, they can have that as a service when people move in. We'll transfer all your stuff to digital for all your future relatives. I mean, I know that's a weird pitch for you to walk in there, but that's why you're here, right? Random ideas.
Great idea. My mom was at Waterman Village for a while. I see what those people go through. They don't have time to do this, but it's still wonderful
They've
thought.
got robotic servers in the main dining room bringing lunch to people. They've got money.
Okay.
Good morning. So I'm just wondering, what part of your business is reaching customers, or is it a one-time, two-time use, and that's it?
You would be surprised. That's what I thought. I wouldn't have any kind of people that I would get to know. People have tons of stuff.
So you have a lot of returns?
More than I thought we would. I would say about 35 to 40% of our customers are people who have been to us before.
So that's really a key component to your marketing of this, because some people may not be outspoken marketers, and so there's kind of like an already customers returning, so they have something to start with.
Right.
What can we as a community do for you that you haven't already heard or haven't asked for after getting this feedback today?
I'm here because I followed the advice of what business broker that gave me something to follow up on. And that is try and create a local word of mouth campaign. So you're my campaign. Just let people know it's available. I'll be happy to talk to anybody. I'm an open book. I'm not trying to hide anything. And I'm not trying to make a killing off the sale. I just want to leave the company in good hands so that the community can continue availing themselves of the services that we provide. And that's pretty much it.
All right, let's thank Mike for his work. All right, so again, great feedback. We thank Mike for presenting. This was, like Mike said, this was our first presentation on an exit strategy, and I think it was great feedback. So you can see that the presentations can run the full spectrum from a thought to a retirement and an exit. So anything in between, let people know that those options are out there. Respect for everybody's time. If you need to leave, please go ahead and do what you need to do. Our last slide is going to be for the community announcements, if we can get there. So any community announcements coming now?
Are you going to give away?
No, I'm going to keep it. Yeah, say it.
Are you going to give away?
Yeah, we'll do,
Bree's got something.
Yeah.
Bree, and then we'll get the bucket, and Sadie, come join me for the giveaway.
Good morning. Make sure everybody takes a picture today. This one or two there. This morning we had our George Best kickoff breakfast, sponsored by the Chamber in the city of Eustis, and a lot of you were there. Thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed yourselves and you got a lot of good information about what's going on in the city. As a business owner in the city or even on the outskirts, knowing that schedule would help you in your business if you need to staff more, if you need to see if there's something you want to be involved in. Please check the calendar with all of the events that are going on. The other thing is, I got to speak a little bit about our young professionals are starting a group at the Lake Eustis Area Chamber of Commerce, and Monty and Zuli are spearheading it, and I believe Margaret's here. And it is Monty, Margaret, and Zuli. And we are offering Friday evening from 5:30 to 8 for our current members, and we hope that you bring some younger members. But our experienced people will be there, and some of our new people. Basically, they're coming in, they will be an umbrella of the chamber. They will have their own program of work. We will support each other's program of work. But I have said before, we need to grow our own business owners, our own entrepreneurs here. We have every resource available to us to do that. And I also think we need to grow our own leaders. So, and it's a chance for, it's supposed to be 40 and under, but you know, again, some of us older people will be there. It's okay. Yeah, you're more than welcome to come. Expertise and youth and vibrancy. So we're putting it all together. And wisdom, yes.
Where is it? Where?
Oh, it's at the chamber, Friday night. We'll have the back of the lake, we'll have the lake, there's flyers out front. Yeah, there's.
Give them the chamber address, some people don't.
It's 1 West Orange Avenue. So if you're coming down Orange Avenue and you go into the lake, you went too far. We're on the right, right at the lake. And there's a parking lot, yeah, so.
Yeah, I think Margaret has a flyer if you want to.
The flyers are at the back also.
Registration table too.
So please pick them up and, you know, if you want to come earlier than 5:30, we're going to be there too. But, and they're going to do an organizational thing. You want to speak?
No, I was just going to add on, just so you know, we are going to have it every third Friday of every month. So if you can't join us this Friday, because I know it's kind of short notice, you're welcome to join us for the next one. It's going to be March 15th. And then on Friday, we're going to be announcing who our speaker is going to be for the next. We are looking forward for everybody to
So,
yes, we do have one. Okay.
and if you're interested, I have my cell phone number. He loves late night texts. I will get that. Let's do our drawing. John? Sadie?
Who's doing the drawing?
Mike.
Mike, last name?
Joe Seiler.
Joe
Silers?
Yeah.
It's Mike.
Oh, he's here, he just walked downstairs. So.
Permanently, or is he coming back?
Come back.
All right, so let Joe know that you won when he comes back. Any other community announcements before we,
April 6th, the 10th annual Amazing Race for Charity. Teams of exactly 2 people, 5 miles, 20 crazy challenges across Eustis. If you've never heard about it before, this is now the 10th year. It is the year to join the race. April 6th, the first Saturday of April every year, AmazingRaceForCharity.com. And I will keep it brief. Look it up yourself, and I'll talk more next time we get to do this.
And you don't have to be a runner.
Correct.
Okay, I do it. I am not a runner.
yeah, I'm telling you, I've never done it, but I've watched Facebook posts after it's been done and just have heard just nothing but great things about it. John?
I have about 55 people in the room. I have 35 signatures, so if on the way out you wouldn't mind signing, that would be great. Also, our CEO Exchange launches on February 27th. For those of you who do not know what that is, it's anyone who's interested in a growth business. They're stable, they're wanting to grow 800,000 in sales, 4 employees, and they've been in business for a year. There are 3 slots left, and I can tell you if you decide to wait, and those are full, these people never leave. We have one in Orlando that they've been there 10 years with the same group, so very, very great stuff.
Marianne?
Can I say my class that I'm going to teach? Okay, at the SBDC in Sumter County, I'm going to teach a Getting Started QuickBooks class on February 28th. And so if you'd be interested, it's free, and you just go on their website and register.
All right, thank you. Marianne was one of our first couple of month presenters and did an awesome job. Anyone else?
Yes, Ms. Pan mentioned the fast track course that's coming up. It's also a program by the Kaufman Foundation. So Lee will be putting that on here, hosted by Mega Workplace for 10 weeks starting March 19th. It goes from napkin to business launch in 10 weeks. So we'll bring in subject matter experts 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. every Tuesday night for 10 weeks straight. So it's free, all inclusive. Yeah, hope to see you there.
Yeah, George, come on. George just got here for all the new people. I just want to introduce George's body, the owner of the building, and with him and Pam have helped put all of this together that we do every week, brought in the UCF incubator. They are just amazing for what they do for the city of Eustis. So I just wanted to give George some special notice that he truly deserves.
Thank you, thank you. This was a vision that that I had along with my better half Pam to try to develop something for entrepreneurs and for business people to collaborate together where it was free, thanks to Kaufman Foundation, at least for this function. But we've got a lot of other things going on. This is home for future. This will be in my trust for generations to come to foster small business and collaboration and growth and support our community as Lake County grows on the map. So thank you for being here. Take advantage of what you can take advantage of. SBDC, in my experience, being involved in this in a short period, is one of the biggest hidden secrets. UCF speaks for itself, and please grow with us, and take a look at the people to your right, to your left, and support them. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think it's a perfect example of the business community giving back to the business community. So, you know, you've been here, first timers, you've been here now, multiple timers. You know, invite somebody. If you know somebody in business that wants to give back, invite them to attend. Again, you know, this is free. We volunteer free. George and Pam took a lot of time and effort to bring this here because we want to go back to the business community. It's all about giving back. Kent and I did a program years back about giving back to the business community. So this is the place to do it. We're not trying to sell it. We're not trying to promote it. It's just an incredible program that I think the best one I've ever been part of. And we just want to grow and see new business owners be successful. Pam?
I just want to say we are very grateful that this is happening, but we have to throw kudos Leeds way. Lake Economic Area Development, they're attending here as well. Without their vision to involve, this would not be existing. They're an incredible
Yeah, just some great minds.
Adding to our community.
Yeah, great minds behind the leadership of the league. Anything else? And this time I am going to promote the group picture because we've got, I think, our best attendance today. Officer Coe.
Just one more thing for those who haven't been here before. I'm Officer Coe with the Eustis Police Department. I'm our CRA downtown officer. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns in reference to anything that goes on in the city, go ahead and please see me. I'll do what I can to answer your questions. If I don't have an answer, I'll find it and get back with you. If you need a card, I have one here. If you're not in our city and you have any questions, comments, concerns, I'll see what I can do to answer those questions. I can't necessarily speak for your city, but I'll do what I can to try and answer your question to the best of my knowledge.